nữ sinh mang thai với thầy giáo, dũng cảm chia sẻ sự bất hạnh của cuộc đời mình. Cô gái giàu nghị lực phải khiến nhiều người bật khóc. I never imagined this would happen. I fell in love with my teacher and now I'm pregnant. Sharing this pain is so hard. I feel so lost, but I have to be strong for my baby. Hello everyone. Today I finally mustered the courage to share my life story. I hope that young girls, those who are going astray, can take a moment to reflect and make a better decision. The storms only came and tested my weak character when I started 9th grade. My family faced a major crisis. My parents and siblings were forced to move to Saigon, leaving me alone at home with my grandparents for a while before moving there later. Life would have been uneventful if I hadn't met that person. He was a young teacher who had just transferred to my high school and was in charge of my class. Days and months passed, and what had to happen happened. I understood what that meant. I became a woman at the age of 16, fulfilling all his requests, thinking that's what love should be like. Everything only truly collapsed me. I had never imagined it. I talked to him, hoping to find a solution, but in response to my pleas, he coldly acted as if the baby had nothing to do with him. He said I should quietly abort the baby, not be foolish enough to make a fuss. Did I blame him? Yes, but perhaps I blamed myself more. Gathering all my courage, I told my parents everything. Almost immediately, my parents flew to the north. Contrary to my expectations, when they saw me, they only cried. Seeing the tears streaming down my parents' weary faces, I suddenly realized how unfilial I had been. Soon after, I transferred schools to Saigon. I left quietly, without even saying goodbye to my close friends, and without having the chance to see my teacher again. My pregnancy with Sun, my son, was the most painful time for me. At the end of 11th grade, I gave birth to Sun. During that time, I took a break from school to stay home and care for my son until he was a little stronger. One afternoon, my parents were involved in a traffic accident on their way home from work. They passed away suddenly. At that time, I was in my final year of high school and my daughter Sun was almost 2 years old. The pain my siblings and I felt. The sudden loss of our two dearest loved one was unbearable. For me and my daughter, it was like falling into a bottomless abyss from which there was no way out. After finishing high school, I took my daughter to the north alone, despite my siblings' strong objections. But I was determined to fulfill my father's dying wish, to get into the National Economics University. Balancing childcare and exam preparation was the most difficult and arduous time for a girl. I never had to suffer like this before. I send my child to a private nursery, teach extra lessons in the morning, work as a waitress in the afternoon, and at night I come home to care for my child and study for exams, who had never experienced such hardship before. I sent my daughter to a private daycare, taught extra classes in the mornings, worked as a waitress in the afternoons, and then returned for the exam. And yet, I passed, getting into the most competitive major at the university. The day I hugged my child and cried all night. I confided my heartbreak over getting pregnant by my teacher. Where will our lives go from here? Our rent-a-room is poor and we lack everything. Yet, thankfully, my child grew up healthy and strong. He can't be away from me for even a week, so I studied, worked, and took care of him all at the same time. Sometimes we were so poor that I could only afford plain rice to get by, saving money for milk for him. My teacher got me pregnant, and it breaks my heart. He lacked so much, he never knew what nice clothes he had, yet never asked for anything. Perhaps he felt sorry for his mother's hardships. I also longed for a comfortable life and a complete family for my child, but perhaps it wasn't the right time yet. I felt sorry for my child having to grow up under the roof of a cramped, poor-rented room, with my busy schedule and lacking everything. The more I felt sorry for my child, the more frantically I threw myself into studying and working. I got pregnant by my teacher. It was a heartbreaking experience. Because my English was quite good, I got a job at a travel company, going on tour around Hanoi and receiving tips from foreign tourists. My extra income and the help of my siblings were enough to support my child and me through 4 long years. During those 4 years, I tried every kind of job, sometimes sleeping only 2 or 3 hours a night. From tutoring, washing dishes, waiting tables, being a promotional girl, to selling goods, and during one to kitchen assistant, I did it all. Who was she? The mother of one of my students. and also a single mother. Knowing my situation, she felt so much sympathy for me. She helped me so much that I still haven't been able to repay her kindness. She treated me like a younger sister, giving me a job at her company, which coincidentally was a good fit for my field study. So, in just my 3rd year, I had a job. I was heartbroken when I got pregnant by my teacher. With a salary sufficient to support, without needing to rely on my siblings anymore. I got pregnant by my teacher. It's heartbreaking, but I need to move on. To leave the past behind and move on with my life. Being a single mother doesn't mean being unhappy. I was so heartbroken when I got pregnant by my teacher. What do you think about this topic? Please share your thoughts and follow along.